I wrote in my weekly email a couple weeks ago about an experience I'd had at a restaurant. I had read the reviews for this restaurant and I went in with high expectations. And of course, I got disappointed. But my wife, she hadn't read the reviews. She didn't have the same expectations and she loved it. So our expectations impacted our experience. Now, the reason I'm talking to you is because some of you actually have the opposite problem. You see, your best people, they need expectations, and you're not setting the bar high enough. What happens is they start running out of expectations to meet. They've mastered this role they have. They're reliable, they're trusted, they're efficient. And you go, well, Brian, what's wrong with that? Nothing's wrong. And that's the problem. They want more, but often employees can't really articulate what more means. You might say more money or maybe a promotion, but often that's not something you can do. And then what happens is they get a little restless and it actually can start looking like a lack of engagement or even a loss of motivation. People say, well, Bob, he used to be really ambitious. Now he's not so much. And then all of a sudden a recruiter calls him. And you know what that recruiter does? They describe what more might look like. They give them a vision of the next stage of their career. Now, it might not have been what the employee would have picked for themselves if someone had asked, but in their mind, it's better than just stagnating. They probably get a raise too. And so when they leave, their loss gets chalked up as compensation. They left for more money, but that's not what it was. Someone else defined a better option for them. So that's why in my model for developing people, I define a third stage to every role. It's called the pioneer stage. It's not a promotion. It's not a different role. It's contributing at a higher level in the existing role. That could be improving operations, developing others for the role. Maybe they're preparing for a different role or just expanding the scope of the role they're in. It's something more. It's something of significance, and it's something of value to the organization and the employee. Most companies don't define this. They think more requires them to have an open position, but it doesn't. It only requires an open need. And I'll tell you, every business I know has more needs than they have titles. People don't leave jobs when they think there are options for them. They don't need to be promoted right away. If they think there are opportunities and they see there's a path for getting there, they're more likely to stay. But designing a pioneer stage actually enables something bigger for your organization. It's a concept I call modular management. See, most companies build structure in this order. They draw an org chart, they put titles there, and then they say who can fill those titles. And they hope that the people they put into those roles can grow into them. But Modular Manager reverses that. You move people into where the needs of the business are through this pioneer stage work. You do that first. You don't modify the structure. When somebody's ready for more, you start giving them leadership tasks, give them responsibilities. Maybe they're mentoring the newest team member or owning a system. Maybe it's running an improvement effort. The business gets the needs met now. The person gets to try out the work. And then when you're ready to update the organizational structure, you're codifying something that's already in place and working. Job titles actually become the last step in the process, not the first. And that's the answer to, well, we don't have a position open for them. Pioneer work doesn't need a position. It just needs a need. Now, this is something you can try today, no matter what position you're in. Just think through all your employees. Who of your employees is at the top of their game? Not somebody that's showing potential or you think's going to do good, but is performing at a high level, has evidence. Those are the people you need to be having conversations with. Ask them about their interests and their desires and let them know what some of the needs in the business are. Let them know there are more ways to contribute than just this narrow definition of a role. And then show them how do those contributions help meet the business needs and articulate that value. This is something you can do today, and you need to do it before a recruiter does. You want to talk more about how you can retain your high performers and design your talent development systems for growth? Just go to my website, shiftfocus.com, and book a strategy call with me now. Thanks.